some animation about how the electrics work. The pickups on an electric guitar are usually connected to potentiometers and switches to allow control of the volume and tone, and also the selection and combination of the pickups and their individual coils. If we start with the volume control, this is a potentiometer whose resistance changes in a logarithmic way as the potentiometer is turned, so that the volume is changing in a steady, progressive manner. A potentiometer whose resistance changes in a linear fashion will give an apparent change to the volume only at the very end of its range. A volume control can be wired either in a coupled or decoupled fashion. In both cases, one of the outer lugs on the pot is connected to earth. In a coupled fashion, the output from the pot is taken from the middle connection on the pot, and the pickup input is connected to the remaining outer lug. When the pot is turned all the way down, the middle and negative lugs are connected, so there is no output. This means that the output jack is shorted to ground, and so there is no output even if another pickup is connected to the output jack. In a decoupled fashion, the output is taken from the outer lug and the pickup is connected to the middle lug. In this way, the output always sees pretty much the same resistance of the potentiometer, and the pickup is simply divided as the pot is turned down. This means if you connected more than one volume control, either a volume for each pickup or a master control and a volume for, say, the neck pickup, then they will work independently. The value of the pot used, usually expressed in kiloohms, needs to be significantly larger than the resistance of the pickups. For powerful humbuckers, 500k pots are the norm, and for single coil pickups, 250k pots are the norm. A tone control uses a pot with a linear taper. The output from the pickup is taken to the middle lug of the pot, and one end of the lugs is connected to ground via a capacitor. Higher frequencies can pass to ground more easily through a capacitor than lower frequencies, and so by selecting different capacitors, the degree of treble cut can be adjusted. If the pot is set so that there is a resistance from the pot before the signal from the pickup is fed to the capacitor, then the amount of treble cut is reduced. In this way, the tone can be adjusted. The value of the pot is chosen so as not to lower the pickup, and typically would have the same sort of value as that of the volume pot. Pickups can be switched to provide many different combinations. Humbucking pickups are just two identical single coil pickups which are mounted together. The magnet is often mounted below the coils, and the magnetic field is brought up through the coil with soft iron pole pieces or a bar mounted to each end of the magnet. The electrical wiring is in the same direction, but because the magnetic field in the coils is reversed, any AC interference induced in the coils is in an opposite direction, thereby cancelling or at least greatly reducing the hum in the pickup. The individual coils on a humbucker are normally wired in series, but by wiring them in parallel, you can obtain a more single coil tone whilst retaining the humbucking nature of the pickup. The individual coils on a humbucker can be used on their own, giving a true single coil sound, and the individual coils from different humbuckers can also be combined. The coils can be connected in various combinations of being electrically in or out of phase, and in series or in parallel. Different types of switches can be used to achieve these different combinations. A rotary switch, such as the type used on Stratocaster style guitars, can achieve a number of these combinations with one switch. Alternatively, separate toggle switches can be used for phase switching and switching between parallel and series combinations. The guitar fact is you get people saying, you do one guitar sounds better than the other, different sound, and it's different woods and so on. But a lot of it can be down to the tolerance of the components. I mean, they're not particularly astounding. You get a potentiometer 500 kiloohms, and you actually measure 517, 470, 535. So you've actually got three wildly different, more than 10–20% difference, which is the tolerance they have. So if you're using one of those as a tone control, you're going to get a completely different tonal response from the pot. Nothing to do with the wood or the guitar or the pickups.